Hi, everyone. Let's start off with a meditation. Bring us together. Place one hand on top of your heart, right by your chest, and then put the other hand right on top. It doesn't matter which hand went first. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders and your jaw. Feel the beating of your heart. And allow your breath to get a little slower, a bit more fuller, and more connected to that amazing energetic frequency that your heart is beating. So let's take a big inhale together. Big inhale through your nose. Feel the energy in around your chest. And a big exhale. Press your palms together right by your heart and feel the energy of your hands now. And one more breath, big inhale. And a solid exhale. Release your hands, open up your eyes. Welcome to our Astro Yoga Chat. My name is Kate.
And I'm Natalie.
We are so happy to have you here is this our 4th episode or 5th?
It's the 4th chakra, but it's the 5th episode. Yes. And we have a wonderful topic, right? The 4th chakra. It's about the heart, love, self-worth. So it's really a beautiful topic today.
Yeah, it is. Should I pull up that chart to show us the chakra? Yeah, I'll pull up.
I'll look one more time. So we worked ourselves up already and we're at.
Oh, well, we're going to have to change. We're not going to do that because I can't find it. It's not there. So anyways. Anyways.
So you want to start talking about Anahata, what it is?
Yes. So Anahata chakra is your 4th chakra, and it's located right there in your thoracic region. So this area right around here, it's where your heart dwells. And the name of Anahat means unstuck sound. So when we've been talking about the lower chakras, so the first 3 chakras and how they're quite rooted. So their energy is rooted, they're down in the earth, they have a foundation to them. And they also have aspects to them of our everyday life. When we start to come up into the heart chakra, now this is a bit of that, it's like the middle ground. It's like that connector between the earth and the sky. It's the connector between things that are like foundationally set and your energy that can unlimited potential that's out there. So it is Hridaya. Hridaya means heart. So Hridaya Kash. So this is like your heart center. And love is the strongest and the most potent energy that's out there. So this is the energy center that generates the love. So Natalie, and I'll talk more about this chakra, but which planet is associated with the heart chakra?
Of course, it is Venus, right? Planet of love. And of course, I have to mention that right now, Venus is retrograde as we're recording this. So it is really in 2023 a moment where actually everybody should be reflecting on love, and not just love and relationships, but so much about self-worth. And also Venus rules finances and money. So self-worth is linked to monetary value also as well, and of course to relationships. And Venus is everything that you really enjoy. It's what you like, it's beauty, it's grace. Johnny Patry, one of my teachers, says Jupiter is the planet for millionaires, and Venus is the planet for billionaires. So, so really luxury items are Venus, and it's glamour and sensuality. It's arts, music, love, affection, self-worth. And Venus is also in the chart of a man, um, the wife. And however, Venus is aspected, so that means when other planets look at it, or in whatever house it is and whatever sign it is, it gives us a tendency, if somebody, has like an easier way with love and relationships or self-worth, or if that is really a challenging topic for you in your life and it needs a lot of development and growing and transformation. So the signs it rules is, of course, Taurus, money and self-worth, and Libra, which is relationships. And Venus does not dwell in, for instance, Virgo or Aries and Scorpio, but it is exalted, so very good in Pisces. And the color for Venus is white. That's also one of the reasons why you would give somebody a diamond ring for an engagement. And a funny thing also from my teacher, Joni Patri, apparently Indians laugh at us Westerners that we get married on Saturdays, because Saturday is actually Saturn's day, and Saturn is responsible for divorce or separation. And of course, Venus, would like us to get married on Friday because that's her day, and that would be a little bit better. And also, one of the things I really like about Venus and the concept is it's about a balance, right? So Libra is the scale, it's balancing out. And in this area, in the heart chakra, it's so much about balance of give and take and closeness and freedom, and everything needs to be balanced. Like, if you give too much in relationships and you suffocate your partner, it's not going to work. And if you're too distant and closed off. So I sometimes also feel that about Venus and love and the heart chakra, it has like two levels. If you haven't mastered the lower level, which is about your self-worth, how can you live like a spiritual love, or more like compassion and all of that? So you need the grounding part of it, and then, as you said before, it's uplifting. Yes.
And that's beautiful, because it's like what we started off this our astro yoga chat by talking about balance and how important balance is, because your first three chakras are those foundational sets. So let's just say that your self-worth right now on any topic, right? Whether it's physical, whether it's your career, your money, whatever it is, let's just say it's not at a great place. It doesn't mean that it will remain at that place. It means that with your awareness, you can tip the scale of balance. You can start to shift the way that you're perceiving and the stories that you're telling yourself. So the first three chakras are these like very places where you can find these roots that go down, and maybe you could even figure out, okay, this is why I've been feeling this way, or this is what happened to me at some point in my life, so I feel this way. But now as we lift up into Anahata, and as we keep going up, we're talking about higher frequencies, and love is the highest of the highest frequency. So they say that yogis say that everything that you see around you has first been manifested in your own heart. If someone is going to create something, somebody creates this water bottle. Well, it's a little blurry, but if, let's say you create a water bottle, that water bottle was first thought up by someone. It was like in their imagination, it's in their creativity, it's from their heart for, maybe they just needed that specific size or shape of a water bottle, and then they can execute it. So what I love about this chakra is this reminder that love is the highest frequency of all the emotions that are out there, and that we also mediate between the body and the spirit right here in this chakra. So the body is that's your physical body. This is what, this is what you're on the earth with. This is what you're dealing with. And then you've got this spirit, which is endless potential, endless opportunities. So, and when you start to connect to your heart, when you connect to this frequency of heart, of love, you know. And I think sometimes love gets confused with like, oh, well, I'm in a relationship with someone, so that's the definition. It's like, no, what you mentioned, Natalie, it's the self-worth, it's the love that you give to yourself. And that's what helps to build this center, this energetic frequency. Yeah.
I also did like a lot when you said, about it's about creation, because on one side, Venus is of course creation or procreation. I mean, you look at Venus when a woman gets pregnant, right? When Jupiter is aspecting Venus, but Venus is the planet of art and creativity. So it's also about, like all that inspiration that comes from your heart area, when you have artistic qualities, you want to express yourself, and expressing yourself is about telling your own truth. So actually, to live from your heart is being authentic, and like standing up for what you believe in a kind way, of course, but you really have to speak your truth, because otherwise, nobody's gonna know who you are actually.
And to be quite honest, if you don't speak your truth at some point, you're not even going to know who you are anyway. You're going
Yeah.
to get so caught up in the other stuff that you're going to say, well, what is it that I like? What is it that I want? What is it? Who am I?
And isn't that what happens so many times in relationships? Like, when you break up, like, I mean, that happened to me, afterwards you're asking yourself, okay, so when I go to the movies, what kind of movie would I watch? Because I was like always, like watching those action movies, whatever, with a partner. And you're like, all of a sudden, what do I like? What would I like to do on the weekend? So of course, that's not a good example. You should always know what you like, but I mean, it can happen.
But Natalie, but that's amazing, because it's being very truthful, right? It's being like very like, when we spoke also before about like self-worth, we all define ourselves in a way, and these definitions have come to us. Who knows at what point in our life that these definitions took like stuck to us like glue, they stuck to us. It's our job to realize what stuck to us and then how to brush it off.
Become aware first, right? And then
Yeah.
you can transform it. And of course, the yoga poses, they help us so much to transform it, right? So, hey, do you have a few poses where we can work on Anahata? I mean, there's so many ways to work on it. There's a lot of therapy you can do and look at your relationship patterns. But of course, we want to talk about yoga here.
Yeah. Let's look at this first posture, which is the upward facing dog posture. And as you can see from the person's chest and how that heart space is lifting up, it's a very powerful pose when you're in your vinyasa flow, let's say from chaturanga to upward facing dog. When you pull yourself up, how many of us feel sometimes stuck, right? So remember, Anahata chakra, unstuck sound. How many of us sometimes feel stuck? You got to pull yourself out. Somebody else can give you a hand to lift you up, but you're the one that has to pull yourself out. So upward facing dog is a great one.
I also like, about upward facing dog, because it goes so much with what we said before. Like for this pose to really work out well, you need strong legs. You actually need to pull back through your feet. You need a very strong core, because otherwise it goes into the lower back. And then you do the back bend from your heart, from a chest area. And it's like, you have to build like the first 3 chakras, work on all of that to really be able to expand your heart then.
Oh my gosh, that's a yes. That's a yes. So again, let's think about the balance of it all, right? How many of us have maybe at a point in our life or seen people that are very open-hearted or very open upper chakras, very open, very airy, a lot of the the descriptions are like, this person is very airy, but they're all unicorn and rainbows, they can't pay their bills on time. They are like not grounded. And then if you look at the other part, which is this too heavy, everything is like down there, it's too practical, it's too like, this is how it is. Then suddenly it's like, well, where's the creativity? Where's the passion? Where's the flow? Where's the acceptance in life? Where's that, movement from love? So there's that balance place. So also, and then just to mention that the element of this chakra is air. So just feel air, how air is constantly moving, like when the wind is picking up, how it can sweep things away. You know, we're gonna look at another pose.
See the color, right? Anahata, it has to do with green in the yoga
Mhm.
philosophy, where it is in astrology more white. So you can also like visualize green light in your heart area. Oh, cat and cow. Love it.
Yeah,
Oh, to wake up the back.
yeah. Lift up the back, you round your spine, you pull your heart space in, and then you drop your heart, you open, you extend. You know, usually we do this pose at the very beginning of class, and how many of us feel a little stuck, you know, like a little it's like you're not really like moving just yet. And then this pose helps to loosen things up. Going to actually stop sharing that photo, and then one more posture to show you, which this one is very, it's on a more of a restorative slash yin level. But and the reason why we're sharing this is because, you know, if let's say if you have a very heavy heart at the moment, then this idea of like breaking your heart open and like not breaking, but like lifting through your heart, you might just be too heavy. It might just be a little bit too much, especially if you're grieving and if your heart is like feeling quite sad, then be gentle. You know, find ways to gently open up, because forcing anything, we all know, if you force anything to happen now, like, you know, go in there inch by inch, breath by breath, step by step. So this is a beautiful pose to allow your heart space to open in a very
Yes,
relaxed.
maybe just to make it clear, because of course her upper arm is like covering the second block. So how you would do is you have a yoga block and it has like 3 levels, right? So you will put it up on the second level, so medium high, and it goes actually underneath your chest where the tips of the shoulder blades are, where it ends, or the ladies have the bra strap. That's the first block. And the second block, she has it on the third level, which is high underneath the head, and you should make sure that your chin is not sticking up, but you know the neck is nice and long. If you can keep the neck nice and long, you can put it to the same level. That would be like a bigger back bend. But if the chin is sticking up, I would really go with the higher level. So this is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Natalie, you shared with us a mantra that is about this heart space. Would you like to tell us about it?
So I actually have been, doing my japa, which is using the mala. So I do 1 round each morning of Aham Prema. I looked it up last year in summer where I was going like through a heartbreak, and I read it that it means I am love. And it really helps me to calm down my heart, and also because I want to come to a place or arrive at a place where I don't need someone else to feel love, but feel love within myself. So I've been doing it for a year. I really like it. It's a very easy mantra,
I'm
very
going to
short.
show with the photo just so people can see the spelling
Yes.
of it. So,
Ah, prema.
aham prema,
Yes.
aham prema. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, there's something about, which I think this is something to keep in mind when it comes to talking about love and talking about your self-worth. You know, we talk about this a lot, where we love ourselves, learning how to love oneself, then you can share your love out there. And as Natalie, you mentioned before, you live this more authentic life because you're living from your heart. And I want to just mention that it's not necessarily such an sometimes an easy thing to do because of our upbringing, our culture, our society, our place, our judgments that other people might have that we have upon ourselves. So these the way that yoga and the way that you can use astrology in your life and the way you can use yoga to benefit your life is through the practice of it all, is not by just understanding the theory of it. It's like just hearing that Venus is the planet of love. Okay, that's fine. But then listen, it's like, okay. Or just like saying the back bend, or like just that heart opener is really good to open up your heart. Okay, that's fine. But those are just words. And then when you start putting this into a practice where you start to take these little pieces into your everyday life and you start to bring your awareness to the energies that you have and the energies that you have inside and outside. And,
Yeah.
you know, so.
And, work on it on a daily level. Like, just be aware of what's going on in your heart and what do I need, and like the heart really fears or suffers with criticism. And that doesn't need to come from the outside, like sometimes we are our worst own critic, like what is going on in that mind. And I think we would arrive at the point where we say, what is homework for next week, like reflect on what your head is saying, and where you don't love yourself or respect yourself, right? That would be a good question.
That's a great question. For this week, please spend some time, connect with your heart, be real with yourself, write it down, journal it, just talk it out loud while you're going for a walk, but be real with yourself on how you judge and criticize yourself. Because just shine some light onto it. And the more light you shine onto those ideas or places that you're talking yourself down, things will shift. Don't worry about how, don't worry about when, just become aware of it. Okay. So that's our homework. No other homework, because that's a big one. Yeah.
And also what is nice, you can like use maybe an affirmation like I'm worthy of love.
Aham Prima is really good, right? Aham Prima.
And actually I have like a bunch of malas always, so if you don't know how to do this, you take a mala and you don't use the index finger, and you hold it with your thumb and your middle finger, and you would do like 108 times thinking in your head, Aham Prima. And you can close your eyes. And once you're done, once you feel this big thing here, you've done 108 times. And so you can try it if you want. Do it like every day for 108 times, one round. Aham Prima.
Beautiful. And I've heard that the reason why we don't use our index finger, when you point at someone, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. When you point at someone, this is your ego. This is like you putting the direction of like your ego, and then it all comes back to you. So thank you, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed our time here with Anahata Chakra and with Venus. Thanks for subscribing to our channel, share it, and we've got more things in store for you. You wait and see. Natalie and I are excited to be here, so thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.
Wonderful.